In this lesson, we'll create a swinging text animation. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at our first bit of text up here at the top. So when this starts to come down, I will really want this graph to be labeled pretty much from the start. So I'll go ahead and select that survey, and then let's take a look in our coordinates at its rotation. So I'm going to rotate this up and towards me, and for now I'll just start this at -90. It may end up changing, but for now -90 is great, so I'll control click that. And when I say changing, it may change based on where our camera position is, but -90 is usually pretty good just because it's a right angle from where it would have been hanging. Okay, so then let's move forward. Well, let's do about 10 frames. And usually what I like to do is take this back down to a 0 and then decide if this was going to swing backwards to go this other direction, about how far would it go. And I always find that about 30 degrees looks really nice. So about a 30-degree rotation back in the other direction after it swung all the way down. So I'll key that there. And now I'm just going to go forward about 5 frames. So I'm at, or actually let's do 7 frames. So I'm at frame 17. And the formula I like to use for this is once you figure out that backwards rotation value of 30, you can simply cut this in half, move forward every 5 frames instead of keyframe, and continue cutting it in half. And so then it's going to cause that follow through for that to keep swinging and get smaller and smaller till it's not moving anymore. However, what you have to do is every other time make it negative. So this last time it was +30. So then I'll go -15 and I'll set a key there. So you can see how it's going to swing back, swing forward. Let's go forward 7 more frames. And then we'll cut this in half, and since 15 is not going to go evenly, we'll just round it up to 7. So we'll just do 7 degrees there, key that. And we'll do a 3, so -3 for half of 7. And then let's do a 1.5, key that. And then a 0. You don't want to start dividing it in half so much that you don't ever get to the end. And that one we didn't quite have enough time on, so I'll pull that keyframe forward. Okay, so let's go ahead and play this through. So you can see how we get this really beautiful follow through that very subtly kind of finishes out there. So once you have that created, then what do? Well, all I have to do is grab all of those keyframes by highlighting them, right click, choose copy, select my about global warming, and let's say I want that one to come on at about 5 frames. So if I just scrub forward to 5 frames, right click and choose paste, it's going to paste those keyframes. So if I hit the play button, you can see how that will begin to come in there. Very nice. So that is your swing text animation, and you can see how easy it is to copy and paste those keys. So what I would say is now we just need to go through and copy and paste it for all of our text. So probably because this is part of the legend or the graph, it's not really doing anything to leave that off of there. So I would say right about here, probably on frame 15, we can start introducing swing to this text as well. So let's just come down here to 1989. With that selected, I'll just right click and choose paste, and you see it'll paste those keyframes starting there on the current time indicator. And if I scrub backwards, it's just going to continue to follow. Now the worst part of trying to figure this out is what looks good for the stagger. I don't want all of these to swing down at the same time. I want them to happen individually, but they need to happen pretty fast. So I'm just going to put 2 frames in between them. So I'll grab 90 and paste those. 2 more frames, 91, paste those, and you can see how it can take a second, but it's pretty much just an autopilot kind of thing. Just continue moving forward and pasting them. And the temptation is to watch it backwards again, but if you do that each time, you're really going to waste a lot of time. So just get all of those keyframes down and pasted, and then watch it back at the end. Okay, so we have several more to go through, but I'm just going to go ahead and let's just play this through from what we have so far, and I can finish up the rest of those in the next lesson. So we're just kind of watching. So just in between lessons, I can get the rest of the text in there. But you can see how very, very nicely we've got that animating on. Now, something else that I want to happen besides the swinging text animation is this popping text animation that we talked about. So the percentages, I don't want any of them to be visible. I want them to pop on as the different elbows in that graph hit where the number lives. So let's come back in the next lesson and create that pop text animation.